So we've been here before, right? Basically talking about how parents are probably going to need to be charged for the indiscretions of their children because nothing's changing. And honestly, I think it's getting worse because we're seeing children younger and younger committing crimes and heinous acts that are kind of going unanswered for. In some cases, they're too young to be prosecuted. In other cases, they're just going to jail and the cycle just continues. I'm a firm advocate for the parents need to be charged either for some type of negligence and in worst case scenarios, maybe jail time. Like I said, worst case scenarios. I'm not saying that this is just a blanket thing for to be used and abused. No, I honestly think we should be utilizing fines to the highest degree because if we're fining people for their children that are underage, maybe people will catch sense. But let's jump right into this video.
A string of car break-ins over the weekend has now led to charges against 3 suspects and several of their parents. Police in Gloucester City arrested a 16, 17, and 19-year-old over their alleged involvement in a series of burglaries early Sunday morning. But when police charged the teens, prosecutors opted to also hold their parents to account, accusing them of failing to supervise their children. New Jersey correspondent Chris Hartman has the details tonight.
3 arrests were made after the alleged thefts from vehicles, but the parents of the juvenile suspects were also charged. Police say it's an effort they've been using for quite some time to cut down on juvenile crime. It was early Sunday morning, around 1:30. Surveillance video shows 3 people walking near vehicles in the Highland Park section of Gloucester City. Police say it was these 3 who were arrested a short time later for breaking into cars and stealing things. You can see one trying to access cars in a driveway across the street, running from the house when a light goes on. Denise Glassman says her son-in-law's car was hit, left unlocked on Saturday evening.
That's when he called the police and found out that they had got his car along with all the other cars on the street.
She says credit cards were stolen out of it, and his bike was also stolen out of the driveway.
His kids were upset. My grandchildren are very scared now that there's going to be somebody coming to take their things.
Police say several vehicles were burglarized over the weekend. 3 suspects were taken into custody. 2 juveniles from Camden, 16 and 17 years old.
Pay attention. You saw what he did? Because pay attention to the verbiage that they use as well. They said burglarized. They didn't say broken into. They got a little bit of sense because one, they're going into areas that they don't live in, most likely more affluent areas because they know that's where the money's going to be at. And then 2, they're not breaking into vehicles. They just go into vehicles that are left unlocked. I'm not one to blame the victims, but unless you live under a rock, we live in pretty dangerous times. Why are you not locking your vehicle? And then not only that, you're leaving stuff like credit cards, laptops, and everything like that. And the reason why I say all that is because that happens right here in Georgia, where a lot of people, especially in the Atlanta area, are not locking their vehicles. And it's like, dude, y'all don't pay attention to what goes on? Y'all leaving your whole life, your whole government in your vehicle, and then y'all not locking it. To me, that's just kind of crazy. Maybe because I'm from New York and just mentally, I can't get behind the idea of not locking my stuff, my vehicle, and or my home. But yeah, but pay attention. I'll go back.
Were taken into custody. 2 juveniles from Camden, 16 and 17 years old.
They're smart enough to know that there's a lot of people in that area that don't lock their doors because they feel like they don't need to. Not saying that's going to stop every instance, but do your best to not make yourself a target.
Old and 19-year-old Wesley Hunter from Cherry Hill. Hunter had outstanding warrants and was turned over to Camden County Police. The juveniles were released to their parents, who were also charged with failure to supervise their child.
If somebody came to my house and said my kids did something wrong, I would take responsibility. Absolutely. These parents need to take responsibility.
The police chief says the charge typically involves an appearance in municipal court and likely a fine. Folks in the neighborhood say they're relieved to hear about the arrest, but are still taking precautions.
So between the dogs and the Ring camera, we just watch out for each other, you know. It's a small little neighborhood that we live in, and that's what we do.
Police are asking people to be vigilant. They're also asking people to check their vehicles for signs of burglary. Detectives have some recovered stolen items that they would like to get back to their rightful owners. Reporting in Gloucester.
Lock your vehicles, dangerous times. Don't leave things, your valuables in your vehicles, like credit cards, cell phone, laptop, whatever. Don't do that. Bring it inside the house. Like I said, I'm not blaming anybody because no one deserves to have their stuff like taken from them. No one deserves that. But yeah, just don't make yourself a target because that's exactly what they're doing. They're walking by cars, pulling on the door. Oh, this one's unlocked. Oh, cell phone, money, credit cards, easy. But yeah, I could get behind this. I think a lot more places need to implement this because people are just popping out kids and not giving a damn. They're letting the rest of the world deal with their problem that they didn't have time for, and that's grossly irresponsible. It's kind of fucked up. After every single time that there's like an indiscretion, like every time that your child gets in trouble, they should be hiking that fine up higher and higher. Because one way you can have people listen and pay attention and learn a lesson, start hitting them right in the pocket. You start doing that, people gonna catch sense. They're gonna catch sense. But yeah, that's really all I have to say about this. I mean, I don't like the fact that this is gotten to this point that people have to be charged, like parents have to be charged because their children are just acting a fool and don't have anything else better to do. I don't like the fact that it has come to this, but I do enjoy the fact that at the very least something's being done, because what we're doing is consistently showing no good results. Because juvenile crime is seemingly, from my perspective, I don't have any strict facts on this, is going up. It's becoming more and more prevalent. So something has to be done. Well, you guys already know the drill. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, comment down below, tell me your thoughts. If you feel like this is the right direction, let me know. You could talk about it. If you feel like it's not the right direction, still let me know. I want to hear what's going on. But that's it for now. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.